Dear Vaishnavis, Hare Krishna. Welcome to our noon reading session. So very grateful that we are blessed to have Samapriya Prabhu with us. On this, we are on the fifth book. So we slowly started in March and we completed Bhakti, the small book, and then Beyond Birth and Death, On the Way to Krishna, The Path of Perfection. And today we are on the fifth book, The Perfection of Yoga. And Samapriya Prabhu is an amazing, amazing devotee that I was blessed to have some association in Alachua. And she runs a lot of reading clubs there too. And we are too blessed to have her who can guide us into reading Srila Prabhupada's book. And with Prabhupada's mercy, like Prabhupada doesn't look past to us, he's present with us in his book. And we can feel that through Samapriya Prabhu's facilitation too. Thank you so much, Samapriya Prabhu, for joining us. And the platform is yours. Hare Krishna. You're on mute. If you could unmute. Yes. Thank you.
Sorry. Hare Krishna. Nice to see everyone. Of course, I only see Hamanga Gopi, but she expands herself, I'm sure, into all of you.
And those whoever could turn their videos on, if you're able to, please, that would be wonderful.
Okay, so I was very happy to hear from you and to read this book again after so long. Srila Prabhupada put everything into everything that he wrote. So this is one book he did put everything in it. So let's get on with it now. Firstly,
Okay.
Vaishnavis.
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Namo Vishmadaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutanai Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Garavani Vicharane Nivashesha Sanyavadi Paskatya Deshatarani Umagyanat Nevrandasya Gyanachana Shalakaya Chakshu Unmalitanye Natasme Sri Garave Namaha. Hare Krishna. So this is a wonderful little book that I have given probably millions of these books out in my lifetime. The Perfection of Yoga, because everybody is interested in what is yoga and they don't really have it right. And we will see as Arjuna has this wonderful conversation with Krishna, how this is not, their conception of the perfection of yoga has nothing to do with yoga. So I would like to ask if someone would like to read the first paragraph, and then after that we can have like a little discussion and we can go on from there. So Himanga, do you want to choose someone to read? Would someone like to
dear Vaishnavis, if you would like to put your golden hand, there we go. Pranagopi is ready to read.
Gopi, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, my obeisances to all, and especially Samapriya Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Am I reading from the first paragraph of the first chapter?
Yoga is rejected by Arjuna, chapter
Yes.
1.
Okay, chapter 1. Yoga as rejected by Arjuna. There have been many yoga systems popularized in the Western world, especially in this century, but none of them have actually taught the perfection of yoga. In the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, teaches Arjuna directly the perfection of yoga. If we actually want to participate in the perfection of the yoga system, in Bhagavad Gita, we will find the authoritative statements of the Supreme Person.
Okay, so there's one very important point, of course, many, because Srila Prabhupada says everything in a small amount of time. It is said that true elegance is spoken in very small words, very, very concisely. So the thing that I noticed in this paragraph was the right person to hear from. Krishna consciousness is based on two things, Shravanam, Kirtanam. I see two other hands there. Would you like to say something, Shanti or Ranga? Or
usually they raise their hands to go up in the reading process. So
okay. So that's what my understanding of this first paragraph is. It is so essential to hear from the right person. Can someone understand, tell me why that is true? Why is it important to hear from the right person?
Yes, I would like to go, Amma. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Amma. Vaishnavi. Samapriya Mataji. Actually, what I understand is Prabhupada is enlightened being, so we all know that he's enlightened. So if words comes out of their mouth, it would be righteous words at right time,
He won't
at the
cheat
right
you.
context. So
Good.
that's
Perfect.
why. Mhm.
And if we don't hear from the right person, what will happen?
A blind following the blind.
Implications, definitely.
Misled.
There are
Misled.
implications.
Misled.
Yeah.
We will become very misled. We will not understand the goal of human life.
Yes.
First thing, most important thing, if one wants to achieve knowledge, the perfection of yoga, he has to hear from the self-realized soul. That's the first thing. Okay? So let's move on from there. And also, if someone has questions along the way, please feel free to ask. I guess the next one is either Ranga or Shanti. One of you read the next.
Ranga Devi is next.
Certainly.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dana Pranams. It is certainly remarkable that the perfection of yoga was taught in the middle of a battlefield. It was taught to Arjuna, the warrior, just before Arjuna was to engage in a fratricidal battle. Out of sentiment, Arjuna was thinking, why should I fight against my own kinsmen? That reluctance to fight was due to Arjuna's illusion, and just to eradicate that illusion, Sri Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita to him. One can just imagine how little time must have elapsed while Bhagavad Gita was being spoken. All the warriors on both sides were poised to fight. So there was very little time indeed, at the utmost 1 hour. Within this 1 hour, the whole Bhagavad Gita was discussed, and Sri Krishna set forth the perfection of all yoga systems to his friend Arjuna. At the end of this great disclosure, Arjuna set aside his misgivings and fought.
So that actually is one of the first times, I think it's even the first time in all of these years of reading Srila Prabhupada's books, that Prabhupada hits upon that point of being heard in 1 hour. Here we are spending lifetimes trying to understand Bhagavad Gita, but in 1 hour it was spoken to Arjuna. And how is that? Can anyone say why it was spoken? Why Arjuna was able to comprehend this? Of course, it will be answered later in the text, but does anyone have any realization about that? Arjuna was able to understand this in 1 hour.
There was an urgency that he had. There was an urgency that he really wanted to hear.
He Utsaba. He had enthusiasm to hear. He was clear. He was focused on Krishna completely. Nishta, it's called Nishta, completely focused. He gave everything. So that's how we have to be in our own Krishna consciousness, focused on, do we really want this, or we're thinking of our kids, or we're thinking of our school, or we're thinking of billions of other things, because Maya is very good. She will put everything in front of us. Arjuna was able to hear Bhagavad Gita clearly in 1 hour. He was totally 100% conscious, Krishna conscious, and focused. That's how we have to be when we chant Hare Krishna, because we're directly associating with Krishna, right? We're directly associating with Krishna when we chant his holy name. Why is that? How is that? Anyone know? Why are we directly associating with Krishna when we chant his holy name?
Because name is not different from Krishna?
Yes, very good. Name is Krishna. Excellent. So we are actually, I'm begging, please give me your association, give me your association. But here we are chanting, and we are actually in the presence of Krishna. Even if we don't feel it, we have to understand that, we have to have faith in that, and then Krishna will start to reveal. Very good. So in 1 hour. Okay, so how does one become pure enough for this to happen? That's the question. How can we become pure enough for us to be completely focused? That's something to think about as we move on, okay? How do we become completely focused to be able to hear this transcendental knowledge clearly? Very important point. So think about that. Okay, let's have someone else read however was in the course.
Yeah, Shanti Mataji, would you like to go ahead from however?
Yes, Pranam Mataji. However, within the discourse, when Arjuna heard the explanation of the meditational system of yoga, how to sit down, how to keep the body straight, how to keep the eyes and
I can't hear you.
yeah, and have closed, and how to gaze at the tip of the nose without diverting one's attention. All this being conducted in a secluded place alone, he replied, Yo yam yogas dvaya praktaha samyena madhusudana yatashyaham na pasyami chanchalatvat stititam stiram. Oh Madhusudana.
Chanchala but. You know what chanchala?
Chanchala means
Not fixed.
not fixed.
Chanchala.
Talking. Yeah. Project.
It said that the goddess of fortune, she is chanchala. She goes from place to place, not fixed. Okay, so read this.
Oh Madhusudana, the system of yoga you have summarized appears impractical and unendurable to me, for the wind is restless and unsteady. This is important. We must always remember that we are in a material circumstance wherein at every moment our mind is subject to agitation. Actually, we are not in a very comfortable situation. We are always thinking that by changing our situation, we will overcome our mental agitation, and we are always thinking that when we reach a certain point, all mental agitations will disappear. But it is the nature of the material world that we cannot be free from anxiety. Our dilemma is that although we are always trying to make a solution to our problems, this universe is so designed that these solutions never come.
Okay, read the last two sentences again. But it is the nature. You see? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Our dilemma is that although we are always trying to make a solution to our problems, this universe is so designed that these solutions never come. Not being a cheater, being very frank and open, Arjuna tells Krishna that the
Wait,
system.
Mataji. Wait a
Okay,
second. We're going to just discuss this
okay,
before we go on. Okay.
okay.
The point that I was thinking about in this section is that we're always trying. First of all, we're always in anxiety. Who is not in anxiety? Has everybody experienced anxiety, or am I the only one?
Yes, all the time.
All the time. Okay. So we're in anxiety. Why? It is the nature of this world to be in anxiety. And the problem is we're looking for material situations to relieve us from our anxiety. That will never happen. There is no material arrangement that will help us become freed from anxiety, no matter what you try. And that's the plight of the conditioned souls. We have been trying since time immemorial to make this place wonderful and to live here without anxiety. And the nature of the material energy is that she always gives anxiety. And she's stronger than we are. That's for sure. Right? So this world is filled with anxiety. And we cannot solve the problems materially. If we try to, what happens? What would happen if we tried to solve the problems in this world materially? Because Maya is so strong, she will outdo you at every step. She will outdo you. Come up with one solution, she's always a step ahead. And she will outdo you, causing you anxiety, because that's not the solution. Okay? The solution, we'll read about the solution, but can someone guess what is the solution to all the problems? Someone tell me.
Krishna consciousness.
Very good. To be conscious of Krishna, just like Arjuna, focused, right? Okay, very good. So now let's,
Continue.
Yes, let's go on to another reader. Thank you, Shanti. Okay. Thank you so much, darling. Now, the paragraph 4.
Krishna, Mataji, could you continue? The daughter, actually, the mother read and the daughter is going to continue.
Oh, how cool.
Not being a cheater, being very frank and open, Arjuna tells Krishna that the system of yoga which he has described is not possible for him to execute. In speaking to Krishna, it is significant that Arjuna addresses him as Madhusudana, indicating that the Lord is the killer of the demon Madhu. It is notable that God's names are innumerable, for he is often named according to his activities. Indeed, God has innumerable names because he has innumerable activities. We are only part of God, and we cannot even remember how many activities we have engaged in from our childhood to the present. The eternal God is unlimited, and since his activities are also unlimited, he has unlimited names, of which Krishna is the chief. Then why is Arjuna addressing him as Madhusudana when, being Krishna's friend, he could address him directly as Krishna? The answer is that Arjuna considers his mind to be like a great demon, such as the demon Madhu. If it were possible for Krishna to kill the demon called the mind, then Arjuna would be able to attain the perfection of yoga. My mind is much stronger than this demon Madhu, Arjuna is saying. Please, if you could kill him, then it would be possible for me to execute this yoga system. Even the mind of a great man like Arjuna is always agitated. As Arjuna himself says, Chanchalam himana Krishna pramati balavadridam tasyaham nrigaham manye vayur eva sudushkaram. For the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong, O Krishna, and to subdue it, it seems to me more difficult than controlling the wind.
So now we have, this is the essence of all problems. Who amongst us has not had a problem controlling the mind? Anyone? Has anyone so far in this life not had a problem with their mind? I think everyone has had a problem with the mind, right? It's so good. For the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very, very strong, right? So we have to come back with something more powerful than the mind. Krishna, this is made me look up in the Bhagavad Gita. What's Krishna's response to this? The blessed Lord said to Arjuna when he came up with this argument, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by constant practice and detachment. We have to practice doing this. This is not going to happen overnight. This is a life's work. But you know what Krishna says, you take one step toward Krishna, he takes 10 steps toward you. The most important thing here is practice and detachment, right? So that's this is a very, very important point. How do we control the mind? So I was thinking today, one of the ways that we can do it, we have to ignore it. We ignore the mind, but we can't be like empty. You can't be empty. That's not possible for the mind to be empty. So we have to put something else into the mind. Aside from our fervent prayers begging Krishna to help us to control the mind, we have to put Krishna into the mind. All of our activities focused on Krishna, focused on trying to please him, focused on our desperate dependence upon him. No one can do anything without Krishna's arrangement, without Krishna, his approval. Understood? Everyone can relate to that. Very, very hard to control the mind. Any questions? Is that?
Just agreeing with you, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the mind is so difficult to control. We have to feed it with good things. We have to feed it constantly with Krishna consciousness, or it will be fed with everything else all over this place. We're victims. We become victimized by the material energy. So our protection, what is our protection? We're coming to it. There's a wonderful paragraph that's coming up about the Yuga Dharma. But our protection basically is Krishna consciousness. We ignore the mind. We put Krishna in the mind. Action for Krishna. everything that we do. Prabhupada used to say this in the beginning, whatever we do it for Krishna. Everything that we do, focus it. Is this pleasing to Krishna? I remember in the beginning, we think of things, okay, would Prabhupada like this? Is Prabhupada going to be happy with this, my action in this way? How can I please Prabhupada the best? Which one would rather, how would he rather I behave in this situation? You know, because we are very neophyte. We're like children. We've been in the material world for so long. We need help getting out. And we can get out of the material world right here, right now, by being Krishna conscious. Very simple process for Kali Yuga people. And we're coming up to one of my favorite, and I'm totally dependent on a point that Prabhupada made in this small little chapter. I'm just saving so I can burst into it soon. Okay, shall we? Let me see what else is there. Killing the demon, the art, very important. And so Prabhupada says also, how is it that the Gita can be understood in 1 hour? You know, and how is that? How is that? Does that we should contemplate on that? What are the qualities of Arjuna? Right? Okay. Let's go on to the next one. I think I'm losing. I did take notes here, but yeah, my
Shama Karuna Mataji, would you like to read from the next? It is indeed.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, that with pranams. Jai Srila Prabhupada. It is indeed a fact that the mind is always telling us to go here, go there, do this, do that. It is always telling us which way to turn. Thus, the sum and substance of the yoga system is to control the agitated mind. In the meditational yoga system, the mind is controlled by focusing on the supersoul. That is the whole purpose of yoga. But Arjuna says that controlling this mind is more difficult than stopping the wind from blowing. One can imagine a man stretching out his arms, trying to stop a hurricane. Are we to assume that Arjuna is simply not sufficiently qualified to control his mind? The actual fact is that we cannot begin to understand the immense qualifications of Arjuna. After all, he was a personal friend of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is highly elevated position and is one that cannot be at all attained by one without great qualifications. In addition to this, Arjuna was renowned as a great warrior and administrator. He was such an intelligent man that he could understand Bhagavad Gita within 1 hour. Whereas at the present moment, great scholars cannot even understand it in the course of a lifetime. Yet Arjuna was thinking that controlling the mind was simply not possible for him. Are we then to assume that what was impossible for Arjuna in a more advanced age is possible for us in this degenerate age? We should not for one moment think that we are in Arjuna's category. We are 1,000 times inferior. Moreover, there is no record of Arjuna.
Wait, sweetie. Yeah, we're just going to have one paragraph at a time. Okay?
Yes.
What can you tell me about this paragraph?
Yes, and I understood, Mataji, that to control the mind, it is really very difficult because in this Kali Yuga, there is a lot of distractions. In the sense, the most important one is technology. Which takes away from us like anything. And the other thing is the associating with the wrong type of people, like the non-devotees. And one more thing is that we have to stick to Krishna consciousness in a very strict and prominent way, so that always our mind is fixed on Krishna. And whenever when the mind turmoils or takes us away, we should take the help of Krishna and Guru. So in that aspect, I found these 2 words within which I could express, Mataji.
Good. Excellent. The mind. I think I might have been a little bit. So much for taking notes on better spontaneously. Anyway, this paragraph is also very significant about controlling the mind. Again, if we depend upon the material nature to control the mind, it won't be possible because we'll be filling it with material thoughts. Does anyone else have something to comment on this? So,
I just wanted to quickly say, I just love what Prabhupada said towards the end. We should not for one moment think that we are in Arjuna's category. I think sometimes we get, like we feel that we are doing great in services and stuff, but I think this is a good reminder that Prabhupada is giving us to keep an eye, keep a watch on what we are saying, what we are doing, what our mind is, making us do, those kind of things. So that kind of stuck to me.
excellent. Sometimes we think that because Arjuna is feeling these thoughts and they're not what Krishna wants, and we think that we're more detached, and he's Arjuna is like feeling so bad for his relatives. There was an exercise that they did in the Bhakti House in New York, in Brooklyn, in New York City, where they put a picture on the wall of someone's relatives, and they asked someone, "Here, you come and throw darts at that person," and just so they could understand what actually Arjuna was going through to kill his great grandfather Bhishma Dev, his Guru Dev Dronacharya. And these are not, and we think, oh, he's so attached. These are incredibly difficult things to do, because not only that, these are devotees. He's a devotee. Bhishma Dev's a devotee. The predicament that Arjuna was in is so profound, and he understood Bhagavad Gita in 1 hour.
And that exercise, what you mentioned, was very piercing. Like even to put the dots, nobody would want to do that.
Were you there in Bhakti?
No, like I'm just imagining as you're saying, like just that activity is
kill your mother, kill your father, kill your son, and don't think anything of it. But actually, in another way, not that we want to perform violence or anything, we should be two things: totally compassionate for the plight of the conditioned soul, including our family members, but totally detached where we actually see this is just a dream. I came up with this statement one time years ago. What does it matter what the people in our dream think about us when we wake up? Really. So we're putting everything that we have into our situation in this material world. Everything. We're becoming more and more attached every moment. If we don't do something to counteract that, we cannot understand that we're not the body. We cannot understand that, And Arjuna did like that. Arjuna said, Krishna said, yes. Arjuna said, okay, I will fight. First he says, I won't fight. And then he says, yes, because within 1 hour. And then, what to speak of Abhimanyu? I mean, the Mahabharata is the greatest story. It's filled with bhav. It's the real problems of life. And there's so much to learn from this. And Prabhupada has come and he's giving it to the most fallen people, and I can vouch for that because I'm one of them. The most fallen people who never understood any of this, never even heard of these things. And as soon as Prabhupada came, we ran to him because we were dissatisfied. We were dissatisfied with the things that we were given at that time in our lives during the 1960s. All right, we'll go on now.
I want to add one point.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, what I feel is there was an instruction when we try to surrender onto Krishna's feet. We should be always feel that we are at the ground zero. We should never think that we achieved this, achieved that, and never do that. So then only it is possible to be to full surrender. That's what I wanted to add.
Very good. Also in the Bhagavad Gita, there's a verse in the 13th chapter There's a whole series of verses, I think, 3 verses, very full verses, and it describes what knowledge is. And the first symptom of knowledge is humility. The first symptom. And these qualities like humility and faith, these are deep, deep, deep subject matters. A devotee is all about that. The heart is being cleansed, and the humility. Sometimes Prabhupada, he is so humble it makes you cry, because he is the greatest Vaishnava. He is descended from the spiritual world to save the conditioned souls, and he is thinking he's just a devotee. He's just trying to please Krishna. It's amazing. Very good. Thank you. Wonderful point. Okay.
Nitya Kishore Mataji. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. Moreover, there is no record of Arjuna's having executed the yoga system at any time. Yet, Arjuna was praised by Krishna as the only man worthy of understanding Bhagavad Gita. What was Arjuna's great qualification? Sri Krishna says, "You are my devotee. You are my very dear friend." Despite this qualification, Arjuna refused to execute the meditational yoga system described by Sri Krishna. What then are we to conclude? Are we to despair the mind's ever being controlled? No, it can be controlled, and the process is in this Krishna consciousness. The mind must be fixed always in Krishna. Insofar as the mind is absorbed in Krishna, it has attained the perfection of yoga.
Okay, that's it. 2 things, very important things. I've heard it many times, Srila Prabhupada. I'm always listening to Prabhupada's tapes. I hope that you're all finding time to hear Prabhupada speak. One word, he says, why is Arjun, why did he speak this philosophy to Arjun? What qualifies Arjun? Bhaktoshi. Bhaktoshi. That's what Prabhupada, and he says it like he's on top of the mountain and telling it to the whole universe, Bhaktoshi. Only by being a bhakta of Krishna will one understand this transcendental knowledge. Also, read the last sentence again, starting from the mind.
The mind must be fixed always in Krishna. Insofar as in the mind is absorbed in Krishna, it has attained the perfection of yoga.
We could stop the book right here, actually, but Prabhupada goes deeper. That is the answer to all questions about what is yoga. Insofar as the mind is absorbed in Krishna, it has attained the perfection of yoga. That's how to control the mind, right there. Okay? Okay, so let's go on again to the next.
Janava Mataji, next paragraph, please.
Hey Krishna Mataji. Now, when we turn to the Srimad Bhagavatam in the 12th canto, we find Sukadeva Goswami telling Maharaj Parikshit that in the golden age, the Satya Yuga, people were living for 100,000 years, and at the time, when advanced living entities lived for such lengths of time, it was possible to execute this meditational system of yoga. But what was achieved in the Satya Yuga by this meditational process, and in the following Yuga, the Treta Yuga, by the offering of great sacrifices, and in the next Yuga, the Dwapara Yuga, by temple worship, would be achieved at the present time in this Kali Yuga by simply chanting the names of God, Hari Kirtana, Hare Krishna. So, from authoritative sources, we learn that this chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare is the embodiment of the perfection of yoga for this age.
Okay, that's it right there. That's what Lord Chaitanya came to give. That's what Lord Chaitanya preached. The Shikshastika, is anyone familiar in this group with Shikshastika at all? Shikshastika are the 8 prayers that Lord Chaitanya gave. That was the only thing that he wrote. And they are the essence of the Vedas. They teach us how to be in love with Krishna. That's Shikshastika. So that's it, the Yuga Dharma. This is the Yuga Dharma. And I'm going to tell you a very quick story about this. We went on Ram Navami, we were also conducting a reading. And we were discussing Lord Ram. And we understand that Lord Ram was the epitome of Dharma. He was Dharma personified. He represented Dharma. He took the order of his father on his head to go to the forest. That was Dharma. He was supposed to be the king, but the father's order, that's the most important thing. Sita Devi, also Dharma. No one would have said anything if she said, I'm not going to go into the forest. It's dangerous. And I really, no, you stay at home, Sita, don't worry, we'll be back. No. But Sita said, no, I will follow my husband. That is Dharma. The two younger brothers, Lakshman, came to guard everything. And Bharat, he didn't even accept the throne. He put Ram's shoes on the throne, and he lived in a hut outside of town. So much Dharma. We don't know anything about Dharma. In this Kali Yuga, there is no Dharma. But there is one Dharma, the Yuga Dharma. We cannot neglect the one Dharma that we have been given. And why have we been given it? Because we cannot execute any other Dharma. And aside from that, there is so much potency in the holy name that even people who are low class with no qualification of any kind can achieve the highest love. For me, this is just an explosion to think of the mercy that we have been given in this age to dedicate our lives to the holy name. When Prabhupada came, if this I always say this, if the Hare Krishna mantra had more than 3 words, Krishna, Rama, Hare Krishna, and Rama, no one would be able to do it because we were all very much absorbed in the material world and an illusion. But we were young. And Prabhupada grabbed us. So this is the essence of our lives. 2 things. We saw above, one more thing we saw about the perfection of yoga. What is the perfection of yoga? Put it down one more time, sweetie, so we can see the paragraph above this. Can you do that? Here. Insofar as the mind is absorbed in Krishna, it has attained the perfection of yoga. How do we absorb the mind in Krishna? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Okay. So now we go on to this is the last one, I think.
I can read if it's okay.
Yes, please.
Nobody else. Today we have great difficulties living 50 or 60 years. A man may live at most 80 or 100 years. In addition, these brief years are always fraught with anxiety, with difficulties due to circumstances of war, pestilence, famine, and so many other disturbances. We are also not very intelligent, and at the same time, we are unfortunate. These are the characteristics of a man living in Kali Yuga, a degraded age. So, properly speaking, we can never attain success in this meditational yoga system described by Krishna. At the utmost, we can only gratify our personal whims by some pseudo adaptation of this system. Thus, people are paying money to attend some classes in gymnastic exercises and deep breathing, and they are happy if they think they can lengthen their lifetimes by a few years or enjoy better sex life. But we must understand that this is not the actual yoga system. In this age, that meditational system cannot be properly executed. Instead, all of the perfections of that system can be realized through Bhakti Yoga, the sublime process of Krishna consciousness, specifically Mantra Yoga, the glorification of Sri Krishna through the chanting of Hare Krishna. That is recommended in Vedic scriptures and is introduced by great authorities like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Indeed, the Bhagavad Gita proclaims that the Mahatmas, the great souls, are always chanting the glories of the Lord. If one wants to be a Mahatma in terms of the Vedic literature, in terms of Bhagavad Gita, and in terms of the great authorities, then one has to adapt this process of Krishna consciousness and of chanting Hare Krishna. But if we are content at making a show of meditation by sitting very straight in lotus position and going into a trance like some sort of performer, then that is a different thing. But we should understand that such show bottle performance have nothing to do with the actual performance of yoga. The material disease cannot be cured by artificial medicine. We have to take the real cure straight from Krishna.
Very good. This is it. So we can never be Arjuna, But why did he learn Bhagavad Gita in 1 hour? He was completely clear, completely clean, and he gave his mind to Krishna. He gave his mind to Krishna. So this topmost yoga, this is, you know what it's dependent upon? I'll give you the secret right now. The secret is sadhana. You must have a strong sadhana. Don't let anything, a god sister of mine, I was writing this book. I wrote a book once, The Divine Love Trip. And for years I was asking her, give me a line that I can say and then say that you said, and I'll quote you in my book. And she said, don't let anything come between you and your sadhana. It is the most important thing that we have. It is the time of day devoted to Krishna, especially through chanting. You go out by yourself with the holy name and you associate with your eternal lover. What is better than that? Nothing. So I could go on, and we must go on eternally, glorifying the holy name, encouraging others to chant the holy name. It's a simple process. Prabhupada gave it to us. Lord Chaitanya recommends it in this age. We can't do anything else. There's one thing we can do. Let's at least do that one thing and go back to the spiritual world and bring the spiritual. We can have the spiritual wherever we go, really. If you're thinking deeply absorbed in Krishna, and that's your focus, and people think you're a madman. Even Advaita Acharya said, we're all madmen. Okay, let's be mad women, men and women, mad for Krishna. Okay? Any questions? Any questions from anyone? I don't know how long it's supposed to go.
Yeah, if there is one or two questions, we can take it up
Okay.
before we wrap up, Mataji.
Anyone?
Anybody wants to ask any questions or
Everyone
share?
can commit themselves to the holy name. And Prabhupada said at least 16. We have to give it, we have to realize this is the most important thing. It is the Yuga Dharma. This is why you have the human form of life, to chant Hare Krishna. This is it. Be enthusiastic about it. Be thrilled. That's what Sanjaya said at the end of Bhagavad Gita. Thrilled at every moment to hear this dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. So thrilled at every moment to glorify Krishna, to chant his holy name, to awaken the perfect yoga within yourself, in your relationship to Krishna. Nobody has a question, so now I know that means that you're going to go and do this.
We seek your blessings, actually, that we can continue to read, stay together.
Ranga, do you want to say something?
Hare
I
Krishna.
wanted to see, yes, Ranga Devi Mataji has a question.
Yes, Mataji, this is very, very inspiring. Thank you for your association today and giving us such wonderful, inspiring tips and tricks on how we can perfect the yoga. I was just trying to get a little more understanding. How do we check the complacency? Because sometimes we may feel we are still enthusiastic, we are still in the association of devotees, we are still doing the services, everything is seva. But is there a way we can check the complacency percentage or?
Well, first of all, the urgency must be there. We only develop that by hearing. We have to hear. We have to read Prabhupada's books. We must get enthused. That's what it means to not let anything get in the way of your sadhana. Read. Don't let anyone bother you that you're reading too much. Read these books. This is what the knowledge is. This is what Prabhupada came. He came to give us this knowledge. All we have to do is accept it, and you'll become very enthusiastic. Read Nectar of Instruction about Utsava, enthusiasm, Daryat, patience. Just read these books and chant and dedicate your life to becoming a devotee and tell everyone and you'll walk into a room so joyous, people will say, wow, you're so happy. You're so joyous. You bring joy everywhere because you're so happy, because you're so fixed. And now, Svarna, you want to say something, sweetie? Svarna?
Yes, Amma. I want to ask you about what is compassion? How do we develop the compassion? To be compassionate, what we should do?
Okay, so also read and chant. And also, there are some books that I've always referred to encourage me in my own chanting. I don't like to tell anyone to read anything other than Prabhupada's books, but Prabhupada even quotes Jagannatha Pandit, who wrote Prem Vivarta, an associate of Lord Chaitanya, and there are two wonderful chapters at the end of his books, which are quotes from the Vedas, from the Puranas, about the glories of the holy name and the mysteries of the holy name. Read about the offenses. Don't commit the offenses. We have to be a little careful. It is the easiest process, but it's not also. It's not so easy because we want the best thing. It's not going to be here it is, You have to earn it a little. You got to do the work. We're all working anyway. You may as well work for that thing that is the most rewarding. That thing that will fill our souls. That only Krishna can do that. Only Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
I don't know how. Krishna Dasi, good name.
Good name for Draupadi.
It has millions of names. What was that, sweetie?
I said it's the name of Draupadi, Krishna, because she's
Krishna.
bluish. She's
Krishna.
bluish like Krishna. Yeah.
Yes, she is.
I have sort of a question. When Prabhupada takes a lot of time to patiently explain that we can't find satisfaction through the material senses, and it causes anxiety and all of these things, and to convince us to take up Krishna consciousness. And he repeats this in different ways that we can understand. But I find that we're talking about the fallacy of the mind. My mind can't understand this. So I find that I'm reading Prabhupada's words, and it's really his association that's affecting me more than the fact that my mind is understanding.
Oh, that would happen simultaneously. You have to, he wants us to understand. That's why I wrote these. We have to understand it. And when you're young, Prabhupada came, we were all like in the 20s. And when he was talking about these being older and how the material world is terrible, we were just repeating it because we didn't know what that really meant. Sometimes you need vigyan. Vigyan means realized knowledge. You have to have faith. It'll come, sweetie. You'll have firsthand experience how rotten this world is. You will have it. It will come. It's the nature of the place. But now you're given so much opportunity to have the defense mechanism to keep Maya away. There's no chance here. You will not be happy. How can you say I'll not be happy? I'm happy. It's a beautiful day. Let's go to the beach. Don't be so negative. So Maya is so good. She'll get you right where you're. A little opening. Don't wait to get really devastated by this world. Have your ammunition. Have faith. That's why you have to hear. You say you like to hear Prabhupada's association because he's not a cheater. He's not a cheater. He tells you the truth. You have to have faith in it. And Vigyan will come. And also there's the verse in the Bhagavad Gita, developing a higher taste. What can be greater than this beautiful day? And I have this nice boyfriend and everything's going nice. And all of a sudden, did you know your aunt just passed away? Something's going to happen to shake your world. It's the nature of the place. And you cannot solve that with anything because it's the nature of the place. Water is wet. No matter what you do to it, it's wet. The nature of material life is that it's miserable. You will come to see. But until that time, become joyous in Krishna consciousness. So when it comes, you'll be able to understand, because it will come. It will come. It's impossible for it not to come. I'm almost 80. It's been here a lot. But in fact, sometimes we need a good push to go to develop our Krishna consciousness. Something tragic has to happen. You know, that's why it happens, because we're so anxious to be happy and enjoy. And here's the world. Why not? You know, it's brutal. Just have a good, strong sadhana and hear from someone who you can really trust. And if they say it's terrible here, believe them, because you will find out yourself. Hare Krishna. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Janava Mataji.
Janava. Oh, sweetie Janava. You're
Hare
all
Krishna.
on this Saranagrahi. Janava. Yes,
Hare,
darling.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much for your association, Mataji. We are feeling very grateful. It's not a question. I just wanted to share two realizations. It's like one is like I heard in a lecture saying that the devotees who start doing chanting, if anybody comes to us and tell us, I'll give you $1 million or so much money, will you give up the chanting? We don't do it, because when we start doing it and when you realize it here in the, and we have more than 20 Vaishnavis, all of them, we are all like that, right? If anybody comes to us and tell us, I'll give you so much money, will you stop doing chanting? None of us are going to do it.
Good.
So I felt like this is a very nice point to tell any other people. If new people comes to our temple or something, we can tell this. I thought it's like, it's very, I felt like that's true, but I didn't realize that it's true.
It is true. Prabhupada told us, for example, this is absolutely, this happened. Give it all up. And America, you can get anything you want. Give it all up and sleep on the floor and go out on Sankirtan. And people were not very nice. I did a lot of book distribution when I was younger. One time some guy spit in my face, or a lady spit in my face, and I felt devastated. And I was thinking, oh, I'm representing Prabhupada. I sat down, and this was at the airport. And then everyone's looking at you at the airport because you stand out, because you're giving out the books and you're a devotee. This was years ago also in Los Angeles. And then I'm sitting there trying to control myself and tolerate and represent Prabhupada. And one man comes over to me like Prince Charming. He says, I'd like one of those books. And I looked at him and I said, I'll give you two. I used to give away a Bhagavad Gita and the Science of Self-Realization. That was the books that I distributed. And he said, don't listen to that woman. She doesn't know what she's talking about, Anyway, we have to have faith in this. We do. We have to be able to give up everything in this world. And we have to know that that is nothing compared to what's ahead of us. The divine love trip. Hare Krishna.
And one point I liked, one more point, Mataji, that you said, like, if people think that you are mad, let them think. It is like, I heard one more thing is that if somebody forgets you, if they don't remember Krishna and if they forget you, it's good. And if you're forgetting few people who are not remembering Krishna, that is also good. It is like we have to remember the people who remember Krishna. If they don't remember Krishna, it's okay to forget them. If they think we are mad, that is okay. That point, I liked it so much.
Actually, eventually, you're going to forget everybody but Krishna. Because our relationships here, although we love each other as we become devotees and we grow together, if you really love your friends, push them to Krishna. Push them. Because I met a devotee yesterday. She hadn't been around for like 25 years. And she actually joined the Christian church or something, which is fine, different way of life. But I just started to cry in my heart. I was fearful to leave Krishna for one moment. We have to be fearful. I mean, you have to deal with such love. He's closer than any relative. He's closer. He's your eternal lover. Can you imagine leaving him? No, we don't ever want to leave him. Nothing. We're here for good. Good. Okay, one more, and then I don't know.
Mataji, I would like to tell one last. I would like to tell that we have the higher taste of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, where Mataji was telling, even if you give millions of dollars, we don't feel like having all that, but we have the higher taste of chanting Hare Krishna. That is what Prabhupada used to tell. You have this higher taste. Why you want for this lower taste? So,
excellent. So you're chanting more than 16 rounds?
Yes, Mataji.
Good. Keep doing it. Keep
Krishna's
chanting
mercy.
more and more. Prabhupada said at least 16.
Yes.
But we have to do what we can handle. And then if you want to increase your rounds, you do it a little at a time so that you can maintain it. but your whole Bob, your whole thing is in the holy name.
Thank you so much, Mataji. You are really inspiring us, and it was a very nice session today. And I really take your blessings. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Last question, Saragrahi Mataji. Due to time, we need to end in a minute or two. So please go ahead.
Hare
There's
Krishna,
Prabhupada in the back.
Mataji.
He did it pretty good.
I have your book, The Divine Love Trip Meditations of a Prabhupada Disciple, and I simply love the poems. The poems, I think I've read it like a couple of times. Some of them, they're so sweet and inspiring. And thank you so much for writing that book. It's very good and helpful for me, at least. And the second thing is the chanting, which you mentioned. I feel, it's so transformational. And, even if we don't chant with as much good quality as we want, after we do the 16 rounds, we feel we accomplished something, so that's
good. But understand that if I'm speaking to you and we're together and you keep on talking on your cell phone or doing something else, and I'm going to say, this girl, she really doesn't want to talk to me. So this is a person, and if you're not attentive to chanting, and doing whatever you can to hear and chant, and and think of his pastimes. There's ways to chant. We can have a whole discussion of different ways to chant. Nama Guna Rupa Lila. You think of the name, you think of his qualities and activities and his form. Krishna is all of that. So somehow or another, focus. We'll do it another time. It's huge. Okay, and she has to teach her class. So, okay, shall we call it now? Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Danvat pranams. Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnava ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Priya Mataji ki jai. And Srila Prabhupada ki jai, jai, jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you so
Krishna.
much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
I'm ending the